everybody, this is John, and welcome to the free video. Let's look at a couple of stocks here. First, let's look at a couple of bread and butter trades. All right, so PANW, this is one we did last week. It had fantastic earnings on this day. So on this day, we did a very specific trade, and we added a debit spread, okay? And the idea here was we weren't going to try to make a killing. We bought it for $3.50, and then we put an order to sell it at $5.50 with the idea that after a greater than expected move after earnings, the stock tends to go higher. But the danger on something like this is that if it goes sideways, because you're paying an overinflated price for the option, okay? The premium portion of the option is still ridiculous. So if it trades sideways, you're toast, which is why we did it that way. So let's take a look. So here it is. The option was going to expire this week, and we got filled here. We, again, bought 10 contracts, $3.50, sold it at $5.50. And it's out, and so now and the thing is, we actually could have. Let me see where it's trading right now. I mean, we could have made more money had we held on to it. It was the 175, 182 half. So if we were going to buy it right now, the 175, 182 half. So it's 560. So right now it's a little more. And we probably could have made a little bit more money out of it. But the thing about it is that in this kind of environment, you also want to kind of know when to do bread and butter trades. Okay. And it's important because right now there's a big assumption that this market's going to roll over and die. And I'm in that camp. I agree that it will. But guess what? Nobody knows exactly when that's going to happen. Okay. So here, this is a bear flag, right? We've come down. This is a bearish. But guess what? Just because it's a bear flag doesn't mean it's guaranteed to roll over, okay? Right away. We could very well break through the upside, and this would cause a massive short covering rally. And we've got a weekly squeeze over here, and guess what? We could go all the way to 20107, okay? So that's, what is that from here? About 30 points in the S&Ps. But we could also go to the 21 EMA. So we could easily rally another 50 points in the S&Ps, and this is still a valid trade, and that would be just enough to trigger all those shorts. So we don't want to just sit here just blindly being short, waiting for the next quote-unquote big move, because everybody's positioned for that. Nothing's going to happen, okay? So how do you deal with that kind of stuff? Well, one is in this kind of environment, and it's really important to understand, like, okay, what kind of trading do you do in what kind of environment, okay? It's just critical. So there's some environments like this where you see a squeeze forming, you see the momentum coming down, you see that price is breaking, and you just get massively short. And we did that there, and that was fun. And now, so the next question is, all right, so should we stay massively short because that's how we're making all the money? No, you gotta, that was great. So now it is more of a focus on, okay, so PANW, that was like a unique situation base hit. Okay, post earnings play, great, not a lot of stress, yada, yada, yada. So what's another example of that? Well, this is like almost like a honey badger. So SRPT, here's a stock, biotech. This is something that's a little bit more unique. We bought shares in the room today. You don't have to buy shares if you don't want to, as well as options, with the idea that here's a stock that, let's bring this up here. Here's a stock, and it's volatile, biotech. But it's also got a super high short interest, and it's got a squeeze. So you got a combination of a squeeze. You're at 52-week highs, okay? 52-week highs, or approaching 52-week highs, and high short interest. This thing could explode higher. Now, obviously, I don't know for sure if it's going to do that, but it has that potential. But it's also got that potential to do it regardless of the market, okay? So while we're waiting for the market to make its next big move, okay, these are the kind of trades that we want to do to continue building our account. So that's the stuff I'm going to be talking about this Saturday. So you guys, as you guys may or may not know, we do have a class coming up this Saturday. I think it's going to be one of the more important classes we've ever done, especially because of the timing of the market, okay? But the essential, it is trading formulas, what to do when, okay? I think it's important to understand that, if you're sitting here looking at, here's the amount of trades that you're doing, 80% of them should be at average size or less, okay? 10% of them average size or a little bit greater, okay? And then from here you divide it up, and then there's 5% where you can actually everything comes together and you can up your size a little bit and potentially have kind of that, once a quarter trade that really makes a big impact in your account. But you've got to know how to recognize it, because if you're doing these kind of trades when you should be doing these kind of trades, you're going to kill yourself. And if you're doing these kind of trades, your account, and if you're doing these kind of trades when you should be doing these kind of trades, it's the same. Like, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. So that's the short version of it. You guys can read all the bullets. And I'm also going to be introducing tools that I have not utilized before. You guys can have see the indicators. There's some scans that we've put together and to help you find all this stuff. So how does this work? The Saturday class is just $297. My goal with this is that you can learn the setups and start doing them yourself, okay? And with one lot, be able to pay, it wouldn't take long to pay for the class. The $997, which is our most popular, is essentially you do the Saturday class, okay? So you do the Saturday class, but then you get 3 days of live trading. You also get the indicators included. There's a scanner that you can, a web-based scanner. The parts that relate to this class are included. It's a really, really good deal. And then I know some of you are like, you know what? I love this idea. I want to go all out. I'm ready to commit to this. There's a Vegas mentorship. This is very limited, but this is a live event where, and people always ask, do you record the live event? And I say, no, what happens between me and the audience at a live event is private, okay? It's our own business. And that sounds kind of funny, but it's like, we're exchanging information that I don't necessarily want recorded, okay? So that's $49.97, and that includes this and this. So if you're unsure, this is the no-brainer. If you're like, okay, that sounds great, to me, this is what gets you to the next level, and then of course there's that. So simpleoptions.com/formula. This is in my mind, must-do class if you're going to take advantage of what's coming down the pipeline in these markets. If you've traded for less than 6 years, you've only seen one kind of market. The market has changed, and you need to know how to take advantage of it. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. You guys have a fantastic night. We'll see you at the next update.